Welcome to the Ordinary Marathoner podcast.
Good morning and welcome to the Ordinary Daily version of the Ordinary Marathoner podcast. My name is Scott. I'll be your host today. A lot going on this weekend. It's Monday. It is Monday. It is April 29, 90 days left to Ironman Lake Placid. Time's going by fast. I gotta say, pretty weak weekend of training for me, but we're gonna get to that in a moment. Ordinary Marathon. Today's day 4 of the Ordinary Marathon. You guys out there, man, so inspirational to see this weekend. Incredible. How many of you guys ran marathons this weekend? You know, I mean, I think we have about 55 to 60 people registered for the race. I saw at least 3 marathons. I saw Nick doing St. Lawrence. I saw Debbie doing London. Congratulations, you guys. Paul doing Eugene. I feel like there's more to go. I saw Brian, but I don't know if Brian's registered this year. I know he's donated 3 copies of his book, but Brian Burke ran 100 miles over the weekend. 100 miles. Just incredible. Watching you guys run. It is amazing. But literally, if you guys are listening to this, and you guys literally, if you guys are listening to this, and you haven't run 20 miles over the weekend, you're not in bad company. And that doesn't mean that you're not fit for this race. Plenty of people. I mean, look at me. I ran 1 mile on Friday for the Midnight Madness mile, and then I wound up running 2.5 on Saturday. And that's it. I did the bike yesterday, so I'm at 3.5 right now. That's pathetic. It's my race is 3.5, and I've done 3.5 miles. But yeah, watching you guys out there post your races, your runs, it's really inspirational for me. It really is. And man, I don't know. I'm trying to think of what to say next because I'm honestly touched. I'm touched. But yeah, we gave away, so Saturday we gave away Friday's raffle. Dan Spears won that one. It was Brian Burke's book and a race shirt, the blue one. Jeez, I forgot to wear it today. It was dirty. I ran in it, and then we were on the train, and I was holding Ellie, and she drooled all over me. So what happens? That's just the dangers of having a newborn. But yeah, who else? Michelle Mellahusky won Saturday's raffle, which was done yesterday, Sunday. But she won a copy, and I have the book here, Runner's Fix by Mike Swinger, who was on the podcast. And really, I think it's sort of poetic that she won that because she's been dealing with plantar fasciitis, and there's a whole thing in here about that. It's kind of neat when you do, you give away something and you know someone can use it. It's pretty cool. Like I like. It's almost like when you draw the name and you read it and you're like, oh. And she's gonna win the Runner's Fix book. Like that's perfect. It's just a perfect thing. So it's nice when that kind of works out. We get more gifts, more prizes to give away, more raffles to do. We'll be doing that in the next 6 days, I guess, right? But we've given away 2. So today we'll give away. We'll look at the runners from yesterday and have a list and mark you guys off when I see you guys run, and then we draw a name and we'll see who comes up today. Got a lot of stuff here to give away. Can't wait to give it all away. Congratulations, Tony Perlman. I don't know if he's in the race or if he posted it, but he finished his first Ironman. I don't know what's going on in my house. He finished his first Ironman over the weekend on Saturday. What a great accomplishment. And, I've been watching him train now for like a year. And, man, he's been really at it, and he got it done. He's already got the tattoo. Very impressed. Being as I've done 2, I've wanted the tattoo and I haven't gotten it yet. Hopefully we're gonna be fixing that after this year. 90 days, 91 days we'll have the tattoo. What else we got? I don't know. Keep running, keep posting those runs. #Ordinary Marathon. The Max Mile. Lots of you guys doing Max Miles out there. I've seen probably 25, 30. I know more people are to go. More people have their first mile that for whatever reason weren't able to run over the weekend, and they're going to be getting it done this week. And so that's another anywhere from $50 to $70 to charity. We got a number of donations in. I want to thank all you guys who donated to the SAM Fund. I know we had, I don't know necessarily want to say names, but one person donated directly to the SAM Fund, which was great. And then we had two people that didn't join the race, but donated to the cause via the website, which was awesome. So we got a good donation amount this year. I want to say we're right around probably $700 donation, if not more, which was good. I mean, that's about what we did last year. So when you consider it, I don't know. I just feel like this event is so worth it. I just really do. I feel like it's, donating to charity, 10 days of running, all these prizes. We're doing really well, guys. You guys are inspirational. That being said, let's talk about the Ironman training. Your inspiration did not necessarily translate to my output this weekend, but it was kind of planned, right? I mean, I had some things going on. So Friday, I did lower body workout, and then I did my yoga, which I haven't done yoga since Friday. Got to get back on that today. Saturday was our New York day. So we woke up in New York, went to my brother's house. We had to take the train in with the girls. Got to the park, and I didn't know who we were going to meet, if anyone was going to show up. And we had my friend John and his friend John and Glenn Eisenstein showed up to run. And we did a loop around. I was able to do it was pretty cool because I was able to do a loop around with Glenn and talk to Glenn. He had to head home to the east side, and then we did pretty much another loop, almost another, maybe 3/4 of a loop. And I got to hang out with my friend John, and all told about 2.5 miles. Which, all right, on a Saturday during Ironman training, that's not good enough. But this was not a normal Saturday. This was us in New York City to celebrate the Ordinary Marathon. This was what was planned. That's, So again, it's not like, it's not a great Ironman training weekend. We actually talked about this. So John is a friend of mine. One of the Johns is a friend of mine from high school, played football with me. We used to go, he was one of the guys that, I've talked about this on the podcast before. We used to go down when we were in high school in the off season, preparing for football, go down to the track. It's that nice kind of spongy track, which back then was we put it this way, all the local track events were held at my high school because we were one of the few tracks that were that wasn't gravel, right? It was that nice kind of spongy material that now is probably at every high school. We used to go down and we used to run a mile, and we used to think that was amazing. There we were, 18 years old, thinking we're in the best shape of our lives, running a mile and thinking, and getting tired, mind you, and not wanting to run anymore, and feeling we're in the best shape of our lives, and that we're preparing to win football games. And we did good. We weren't a bad team. I think we were 6-3 my senior year. 5-4 or 6-3. I don't remember. Anyway, and here we are doing 2.5 miles around the reservoir at age 45. Sorry, John, for dating you, for giving away your age. But 2.5 miles at age 45, and I think both of us, all three of us, really were we could have gone longer. I mean, and we could have easily gone longer. We're gonna have John on the podcast definitely because we want to talk about this phenomenon. This is something I need to talk about. I find myself needing to talk about the fact that I could only run a mile in high school when I should have, and I felt like I was in shape. I don't know. I'm going to have John on the podcast once. We're going to talk about this. But yeah, it was good to get out with him and run. Excuse me. And then we went to the restaurant after, Jake's Dilemma, and more people showed up. Stephanie had walked around the track. I don't even think she did because we didn't realize strollers weren't allowed, and she was pushing the baby. And really nobody showed up who really wanted to walk around the reservoir. So they just kind of walked around the park and went to the restaurant. But we had more people show up there. People donating to the cause, donating to the SAM Fund. It was incredible. It was a really good day, well worth it. Especially since when we got there, we left on Friday night, and I'm driving, I'm going, no one's going to show up. And Keith, Bushwick runner, so we're sitting there, and I'm talking to John and Glenn, and we're thinking about when we're going to start running. I looked at the watch. It was 10:18. I remember because I remember looking at it thinking, all right, I don't think anyone else is coming anyway. No one really told me they were coming. And then hours later, when I was on my way home, I'm like checking my cell phone, and Keith wrote me and said, "Hey, are you guys still at the park? I'm on my." Pretty much, he's on his way, and he wrote that at 10:20, so I missed him by 2 minutes. Which I'm really upset, and I'm really upset because I check my phone a lot usually during the day, and I guess I must have been having such a good day that I just didn't check it anymore. And so I missed his message, and I wasn't able to meet up with him, and I wasn't, and he didn't meet us up out at the restaurant after, which I don't know. I'm just, for a guy who does, a podcast, who's very dependent on social media, I get upset at myself for not checking it and not being on the ball when it comes to, when it comes to being able to communicate with people. I'm 45 years old. I'm an old man, and I don't like to be tethered to my phone a lot, which is detrimental to my business here as a podcaster. But, big apology to Keith. I'm sorry, man. I really wish you could have met us out. But he was doing a race in the morning, and then I think he made a pretty good effort to meet us there, and we just didn't connect. Moving forward, Sunday. So yesterday's day, we had gotten back Saturday night pretty late, and it rained on Sunday, and I wasn't really prepared to face that. I wanted to go out for a ride, and then all of a sudden it rained, so I was like, all right, we'll do something on the trainer. I was going to do a brick workout, so a bike and then a run. And I don't know why I kind of gave up on that. I wound up doing an hour and 45 minutes on the trainer, which I kind of cap out at 2 hours. So I'm not really too upset about that. It was a good ride. I could have done more, and then I just sort of bailed on the brick. It just was one of those days where it seemed like a lot going on. I had Samantha here. She went to go visit her friend, but she was here for a while, and then Ellie was sleeping. It just, I don't know, a lot of excuses for me, I know, but it was a good workout. It wasn't a Sunday workout during Ironman training. So, for me, I am sitting here and I'm inspired by you guys from all your work on the Ordinary Marathon, and geez, all those watching people do their marathons over the weekend. Wow. I don't know, something about watching you guys finish. So, moving forward, I mean, I got to pick things up here. So today's workout, upper body, yoga. I haven't done yoga over the weekend, so back at it today. We're going to go out and we're going to do not a super long run, but I think I'm going to go to the park. I'm going to run. So it was one of the things that happened to me while I was in New York. And I don't know if you guys are familiar with New York and Grand Central Station. There's staircases down to the lower level. There's 2 levels, so there's staircases down, but they also have like this long kind of hill that goes from top level to bottom level. It goes down one side, up the other. And it just, especially when you're pushing a stroller, if you have to go up that hill, it's a better option to walk up the stroller than to go up the stairs and take the stroller apart or go find the dirty escalator in Grand Central and go up that. So we just went up the hill. I'm pushing that stroller, not far, 1 level, and it's steep, pitched pretty good. It's pretty steep, but I got to tell you, I mean, you'd think that training for an Ironman would get you prepared to walk a stroller up one flight. It was tough. It was tough. And just subtly reminding me that, Lake Placid has hills, and I got to do more hill workouts. And with 90 days left, I mean, I think this is going to be my focus, is intense hill training, especially when it comes to the run, also when it comes to the bike. So we're going to ratchet that up. So my run today is going to be, I'm going to run to the park, and the park has the hills. So I'm going to go to the park. I'm going to do 1 loop. It's probably about 11 or 12 miles. I don't know. We'll have the GPS on it. So it's not, it's not going to be like one of those 15, 16 mile runs, but it's going to have some intense hills on it. It'll be well worth it. It'll definitely be well worth it. It'll be a good workout. It'll sort of replace my lost weekend day. And that's how we're going to get after it today, guys. That's how things are going to be. I wanted to talk about Game of Thrones. I probably, here's the thing. Is like, I'm not an expert on Game of Thrones. I've watched all the seasons. I've watched every episode. Part of my problem is, getting to my mid 40s, my memory isn't I can't even remember what happened last week. Nevertheless, the last 7 years of the show, really 8 years, because it took 2 years for this last season to come out. So I know I'm missing details, and I don't know. So for the next 2 minutes, I'm just going to kind of talk about last night's episode. So if you watch Game of Thrones and you DVR'd it, or if you want to watch it, shut me off now. I'll give you a couple extra seconds. You're going to want to shut this off because I'm definitely going to give spoilers. I'm not going to talk about it for a long time. Because the thing is, I'm not really qualified. When I see some of these other guys on YouTube and their theories and they've read all the books, I started reading the first book. I actually liked it. But I think the investment of time to read all 5 books was just too much for me. And I gave up midway through book 1. So, all right. So please shut it off right now if you haven't seen the episode last night and you want to. But I tell you, for me, I think it started last season. And I know I'm becoming a critic here, and maybe it, I have this whole theory about how we get older, we just become more critical of things. But my feeling is, and maybe it's because I knew once they outran the books, and they were it became much less. The depth became of the storytelling. I feel like we lost a lot of it. Not to give, I can give specific examples, but I don't need to do that. I feel like we're kind of on TV time now. And that last night was a lot about showing a battle and not much storytelling. There was a little there, and I feel like even the storytelling, I feel like they're just wrapping up loose ends. Like, I feel like they sat down with George R.R. Martin, who said, all right, this is the plan, this is what's going to happen, now here, go at it, now make that happen. And so they just kind of like, all right, how are we going to do this? And they just connect the dots, without thinking enough about it and putting enough detail into it. And, I just watched last night. I'm thinking, why would the Dothraki horde go out first and charge into the darkness? You have Winterfell to defend. You have that as sort of like a home base. That's an advantage, no? And you have these guys, and were they just going to go out there with steel swords until Melisandre showed up and lit them up? They were just going to. They were dead anyway. And yet it was really like a cool scene when they showed sort of like the dragons and Jon Snow and Daenerys up top, watching the lit swords kind of like go across the field. And maybe they did it for that scene, which was really cool to watch. And then watching the lights go out one by one until they were gone. And I just was like, all right, you just sacrificed a quarter of your army on nothing. And the dragons during that period were useless. Why wouldn't you use the dragons to sort of light the way and at least show what's going on? Instead, they charge into darkness and they mostly die, and some of them come back. And how they made it out, how do we know? Because it was all darkness and we didn't see anything. One of the things Stephanie noticed this morning was like Ghost charged out and never appeared again. What happened to Ghost? I don't know. I found that the dragons were very useless during the battle. And again, I'm going to need to just go. I could give specific examples. I don't want to do too much. I thought the plan was horrible. I find that a lot of the major characters are ready to be dead and should be dead, and then they don't get killed for whatever reason. They get saved at the last instant. And it's almost too contrived. Too contrived. That guy that died 7 times, in the end, like, you died 7 times. They brought him back from the dead 7 times. And that little scene where he kind of saves Arya, that was the reason. Like, there wasn't more to that. I'm disappointed. And then the final scene, when Arya kills the Night King. I hope you stop listening. When Arya kills the Night King. The Night King has a dragon. Well, the dragon was gone. The dragon's fighting Jon Snow. The Night King is there, near the tree, surrounded by his guards. Those guards are there. The battle is won. All he has to do is kill an undefended kid who's in a wheelchair, who can't move. And I don't know if this is the visual that they wanted to portray here. The battle is won. And all the Night King's guard, they're behind him. There's 12 of them. None of them died, right? I think there's 12 of them. And their entire existence depends on the Night King living, all right? They know if the Night King dies, they die, like no matter what. They know this. Wouldn't it make sense to actually guard the Night King? Because Arya jumps out of nowhere. Where the hell was she? Was she in the tree? I don't know. It seemed like she just jumped out of nowhere from behind the guard. The guards they didn't guard. The battle's won. Everything is won. And then it wasn't even like a fight. It was just like, all right, she drops the sword, she drops the dagger, she catches it, she stabs the guy, everyone's dead. And it was just so... you watch entire seasons of this show and you're deathly scared of this undead, millions of people attacking, and they seem like they're unbeatable. And it's like the battle of good versus evil and all this stuff, and then one stab and it's over. And, I think some of the background stories like 12,000 years ago, right? The White Walkers came and they were able to kind of battle them back and send them up north beyond the wall. Well, that suggested that there was some kind of reason for that, right? Like and that was, there's a way to stop them. We don't know really how. All right, we know we can kill the Night King, but that's a long shot. I don't know why he would even make himself susceptible. And then what? Why is he there? I don't know. We still never really got a really good answer, other than he's trying to kill humanity. I mean, I guess that's the answer. Kill the memory of whatever Samwell said last season. I don't know. I guess for me, and again, I hate being critical because I don't know. I feel like there's way too many people that are just critical for the sake of being critical, and I know sometimes I can be one, a little curmudgeon-y. I wasn't fulfilled, and I kind of knew this going into the season, because there's just no way that 6 episodes was going to write after such a detailed, in-depth story. There's no way they were going to wrap up 6 episodes worth of stuff, and make it worthy for everybody. And I don't know. And I know a lot of you guys that I text, you guys love the episode, and there's certainly a lot of scenes to love. The little girl killing the giant, the Mormont girl killing the giant was amazing. I can critique. I have other parts of it that I don't like. Grey Worm sending the Unsullied out to sacrifice themselves to protect the retreat, but yet somehow, basically, going down with the ship, the captain going down with the ship, he's the leader, he should be out there, and then he retreats and survives? Would Grey Worm do that? I don't think so. Melisandre comes out of nowhere, and granted, we were all expecting her to come back, and now here's a woman who's been wrong so many times, and killed and burned a kid at the stake. And here she is sort of coming out of nowhere, definitely not an A character, sort of like a B-level character, and making such a difference. And like lighting the trench, going out there, like they have people with flaming arrows, flaming swords, dragons. You telling me in that whole entire time, like not one, not one flaming arrow just happened to go into the flammable liquid that's in the trench? That we had to wait for her? Like no one had a match on the front line that could just, no one had a torch. It just seemed a little bit crazy. I don't know. It seemed a little bit crazy. I didn't like it. I'm sorry. And now what? So now they have like a dozen people left, and they got to go march on Cersei and King's Landing. And how's that going to work out? How's that going to work out? Not well. But of course they'll win. I don't know how. Here's my theory. My theory is that Arya is going to go into King's Landing and just start stealthily killing a lot of the people, just changing your face and getting involved and sort of getting behind the scenes and killing everybody one by one, taking out a lot of the important people. That's how it's going to be done. Because how else are they going to do it? They have no more people left. What are they going to? There's going to be another army? I don't know. How's that going to work out? I don't know. They don't have enough people anymore. It's like what are they doing? I don't know. They just kind of hang out up north. Battle's won. Who cares? Let Cersei do what she's going to do. Anyway, moving on. Ordinary Marathon, guys. Keep it up. Keep up the good work. We got 6 more days left of running. And really 7 days if you include today. And, It's been going great so far. Looking forward to give away a lot more stuff. And yeah, keep up your training. And, it's Monday. Let's get after it today, guys. I got a big day planned, so I hope you guys do too. And I remember every day is an ordinary. First of all, don't listen to my Game of Thrones stuff. It comes from a very unqualified source. I don't even know why I rant about it like this. So much of my time has been spent invested in this, and I just want it to be perfect, and I wanted to be surprised and be overtaken by like some by the depth of the story that's been told. And I feel like they started this and they said, all right, here's a list of the people that are going to die. This is how it's going to be done. And here's the people that are going to live. And yeah, we're going to show them almost die, but then they're going to live. And here we are. I'm just disappointed. I don't know. The storytelling is gone. I don't know. Anyway, moving on. Have a good day, guys. Have a good Monday. Remember, every day is an ordinary day. It takes you to make it extraordinary. So get after it.
Remember to like our video and subscribe to our channel.